Welcome back. You're watching Morning Express, and this is the way it is. And we were talking about the possible tenure extension as claimed by Member of Parliament Alice Wahome during the New Year's. She was speculating on that, and obviously we have a lot of political leaders who have come against that, saying that this is hypocrisy on the part of Honorable Wahome. And in studio, I have Daniel Juma and Ambrose Weda, who are digging deeper into this. And I'd like to play devil's advocate and think on behalf of anyone who would love to see the president extend his tenure. Of course, we have talked about the constitutional requirements for that, and it would need change that would take time. But at the same time, we have a lot of work in the country that seems to be under the president's umbrella of his obligations and his responsibility. Talk about the Big Four agenda, talk about the economy. We have that BBI report that we are expecting to go forward with after people have read it and have their opinions on it, and the economy that is not doing great. So if you take a look at that, then you see that there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and 2 years might not be enough given all the political noise that is ongoing. So, Mr. Weda, what's your take on the balance between these people who are making their voices heard in terms they're possibly dissidents, the Team Tanga versus Team Kieleweke? They've been quite loud and they're being termed by Honorable Savula as goons. But at the same time, the president has a responsibility of working. So sometimes this noise could overshadow his, his need to accomplish a lot of things.
You remember I've said a number of times when the BBI facade, and I've said, Your Excellency, this is a waste of our time and resources. When the people of Kenya elected you, they elected you for main 4 agenda items.
Right.
And one of them, affordable, quality healthcare.
Yes.
Number 2, food. Good, nutritious, available food. We have not done much on those. Jobs, creation of jobs for our many graduates, youths, and so on. Those were many things. And you remember I kept on complaining. BBI, I said, you are not elected to do a BBI.
Yes.
There was no problem with the constitution that we talked about going to correct. And my worry was that a lot of time was going to be wasted, that there will be nothing much on the 4 agenda items. Even if they are not 4, even on the 2. Food, quality medical health care. Do those 2. The rest we can sort out when you're left. And then do a little so that there are jobs for jobs are created. That is it. But we went BBI and we started worshipping BBI. And if you said anything BBI, whole Honorable Raila supporters will want to beat you up. And even they made the president one time said, if you oppose BBI, then you are his enemy. Which I said, I went and prayed for the president. I said, you God Almighty, cannot touch my president. He has been with the wrong crowd. And now you see the way he's talking. We are talking about food. We are talking about healthcare. You remember this?
Yes.
And jobs. So the 2 years should be concentrated on doing that. Those who are making noise, you deal with them, one, through work. And then a few people can respond. A few people can respond occasionally when they say, once we extend, say, no, he doesn't want to extend his term, we are just working. Nikazi too. That is, or occasionally the president can say, no, I will not extend, we will not remove the presidential term limit. But if there is a premier position which I fit and Kenyans think I can, I'll take it. Then the matter will be seen. We go back to having quality, affordable healthcare. We do not have people dying of hunger. Now there have been a lot of rains.
Yes.
In another 3 months, the consequences will be felt. The schools are done, the bridges have been washed. All this requires money, requires reorganization. This needs to be done. For my president to have a strong, good legacy, the kind of legacy where people feel we remove the term limits, it continues. It is work. It is not how many people want it to be done. It is not how many BBI or BBC reports that have been done. We have gobbled up money on that thing. It has been used and it is there, yet it has not helped anybody. It does not help my Luo nation to ascend to power. It does not help my president to achieve the 4 agenda items. But the remaining 2 years, I'm pleading, Your Excellency, continue the work of getting quality, affordable health care, food security in the country, and creation of jobs. If those 3 were to be done, we will sing songs in your praise. We will remember your great-great-grandchildren. But if you just do the BBI, try to amend the constitution, which we will reject if it does not bring food on our table, then it will have gone with your legacy. So I appreciate the relative calm that the handshake has brought between the president and the Honorable Raila. That calm should have been there from the word go, and it is good. But that calm should not be what we celebrate. We should celebrate the achievements that have come as a result. The Tanga group also, as they go around and they condemn and castigate, they should allow the deputy president to support the president on the 4 agenda. We elected them to do those work. We didn't elect them to do this or Tanga or Keleweke or in between or snap elections. Those ones we didn't ask them to do. This, our country needs to move forward. My friend keeps on saying that freedoms, that in Kenya we have freedoms. Now let me tell you, in scientific terms, a freedom is not ability just to talk anywhere. A freedom is when you are empowered.
Yeah.
If you want to eat, you go and eat. If you want to travel, you go and travel. If you want to whatever. Now, if all those freedoms are not there, the only freedom you have is you can sit under a tree and talk. Then that is no freedom. When you go to eat, there's no food. That's no freedom. When you want to travel, there's no bus fare. When you want to take your child to school, there's no school fees. Then you can just have superficial freedom. We want real freedom where you want to work, the job is there. You don't want to work, you can leave. Here, you want to work, there are no jobs. So would you say you are free? You are not free. You want to grow in school, the opportunities are there. It is about creation of opportunities, which we still have faith that the 2 years, the president will do something.
Yes. Now, if you focus on the new cycle, when you think about the Big Four agenda, it feels like some distant memory, because we've had a lot of noise on the perceived differences between the president and deputy and president. We don't even know for a fact whether there's an actual rift between the two, or is it noise by their allies who are hoping to position themselves correctly for the future. Now, what do you think should be done about these people who are making Honorable Savula call for a snap election, or the ANC call for a snap election, because the noise seems to be standing in the way of the goals for development or just a better Kenya for the common mwananchi, as we would all hope for?
There's nothing you can do about that. you can't do anything. As I said, these are the freedoms that President Kibaki ushered in with the new constitution. And there's nothing you can do about those people. They will continue talking. They have a right to talk. My advice to the government, to the president and his deputy and the government and every stakeholder involved is that the work of running the nation cannot stop. The work has to continue. The president must continue delivering on his election promises. Those promises are still there. People are still asking those questions. They're asking, where are the stadiums? Where are the dams? People are asking those questions. People are asking about, education, about food. So for me, as much as the president is, and it's a good thing. I said earlier on that the president, even when he's reaching out to Honorable Raila, through BBI, as a statesman, as a president, he's the father of the nation. He has a right to do that. Let him continue doing that. Let him continue engaging Honorable Raila through the handshake or BBI or whatever else they want to do. But even as he does that, he must be a multitasking president. He must continue ensuring that his deliveries, his deliverables, the PDU must continue working. The CSS must continue working. Even as much as the discussions are going on, like people from Nyanza, I think most of them are also expecting. For example, they were told that the lake, there'll be the port will be established in the lake. They're expecting infrastructure development. Right now, as we are talking, I think there are some roads that are really, really in bad shape. For example, the road from Ugunja to Rwambwa, it was just done one carpet, So people are expecting, a good tarmac of the roads to be done. And for me, these are the benefits of the BBI. The handshake should translate into real benefits for the people. So I think this is an opportunity for the government, for the president, to actually deliver on his promises, especially in the opposition strongholds where he was not welcome before. So for me, and that's why I'm saying that you don't need to do about the people who are talking. We are a democracy. People must talk. You know, there are people who want to get ready about 2022, get for 2022. They have a right to do that. I also agreed with the president when he said that people should stop politicking and work and wait for 2022. But that is wishful. People cannot stop talking. You know, the Kenyans are political in nature. They love politics. So they will not stop talking. They will not stop doing their politics. But the president and his government must find a way around it. They must find a way of delivering, making sure that these 2 years he's delivering on the Big Four agenda, so that, as he said, if the constitution is changed, and Kenyans feel that they love President Uhuru, that he has delivered on his agenda, that that he's the only one who can again serve them under another capacity, then whatever he has delivered is what will make Kenyans say, Mr. President, we want you to continue serving us because of the good things that you've done. But if these things are not delivered, if these things are not done, then even if they change the constitution and there's a creation of a prime minister's post, then he may not automatically be the beneficiary of that. Somebody else may be elected to enter there.
Yes, and as he says, while some people might want, if he delivers, then some people might want him to stay on. I'm thinking the deputy president would also want the president to deliver, because if he's running for office and he was under that same umbrella as the president who delivered, then this would work in his favor, don't you agree?
Yes, if there was delivery done and work has been done, and now we have affordable quality health care. You don't have basics missing in hospitals. You can walk into a hospital and you get what you want. You would be like, we want a continuation of this administration. That is the heart. But then the hunger for power can always be greater, whether I've delivered or I've not delivered, I want to take over this thing, and so on and so on. That's why we have people talking, some are not talking, some are doing all the games. To the extent that we went and BBI became the first agenda item, the main one, until it turns into a hoax, if you ask me. And the plea, as he says, and I repeat, is about the work. Those who are talking, they can talk. You can't stop them from talking because they have been elected by the people, and the little they do is for the people. The work can be such that it is so loud that when you talk, people will tell you, keep quiet. We can continue. When you go there and say call snap elections, you'll be told in the village, what are you talking about? It is you want to remove. So please, if you want the elections, be sure.
It is you.
That is the area, because 2 years now is a wakati wa kulala salama, injury time. And that injury time, normally a serious team is playing very vigorously towards scoring a goal. And the goal is that at least let them take 2 agenda items. Affordable health care, food. If they were to do that, we'll sing a song. I will say, when I see Mheshimiwa Ruto, I will dance for him chini kwa chini. When the day President Uhuru is leaving office, we will say, become Prime Minister. Do you understand? But if it is just BBI and castigating people here and there, or the Deputy President calling people and, as Raila says, slaughtering chicken for them, then we remain standing in our difficulties. Our children are not going to school because of lack of school fees. Everybody does not have a job. When you put all these things together, then you know something is not right. And that something is why we elect people to make them right. Mr. President, we love you so much, but it is the legacy you leave behind. When Honorable Kibaki left, you can see that he left infrastructural works going on, and we shall duly remember him. Even now, the current administration, the Uhuru administration, has done a great job in improving infrastructure. But you know what? People think, these things were arranged by Kibaki. This is what the Kibaki thinks. What have they done? He has done the railway. We have said, no, this is organized by Kibaki.
Right.
Now, if you look at President Moi, he did a lot in matters of education. And that is why Kenya is one of the biggest in Africa, in the world, when it comes to education. That's why you have so many highly educated people looking for engagement. So that was a good job. We want the president to remember President Uhuru. Once we are talking about the railway, let us also remember about quality, affordable healthcare, and the time when we eat 4 times and not pay, our pockets not running dry. Then we will say, President Uhuru, come back. But now when it is just Tanga and Kieleweke, then you'll have to break our backs for you to extend your term.
Now, Mr. Juma, do you agree that if the current president delivers, then this plays positively to the political ambitions of the deputy president, and therefore a unity would be more beneficial rather than these perceived, wrangles and infightings of his allies, or maybe even them as principals?
The unity, of course, definitely. The deputy president, and this I've said severally, that it is good for him. Usually, historically, you have seen that deputy presidents don't automatically become presidents, automatically, immediately after, unless something happens to the president. So usually, and my advice, if I was advising the deputy president, would be, in most of the cases, all the cases, when you're a deputy president, because of the sensitive position that you hold, that you can become president anytime something happens to the president, that you should not overplay your ambition, in terms of the next dispensation. So what I always advise, and they can take it on if they like it, is that he needs to support the president, and whenever he goes. I remember when Joe Biden was here, when Obama was the president, when Vice President Joe Biden was here, he said the first statement was, "I work for President Barack Obama." So he needs to always wrap that in, that I work for President Uhuru, that I am here to serve Uhuru, that everything that I do, even the projects that I am inspecting, I'm doing them on behalf of President Uhuru. He needs to be seen as, serving President Uhuru's interest. And not his ambition in 2022, because when that is the only thing that will make Uhuru's supporter, the so-called deep state,
the allies,
be comfortable with him. But the more that his allies are now playing loudly about his ambition, that may work against him. So for me, I think if he's able, to tell his Tanga colleagues, hold on, let's support the president. If the president wants to go to BBI, he should be the ones clapping for the president. He should be the ones, supporting this, because this is the way where the president wants to go. And also he needs to understand, what is the logic? Why is the president doing this? Why is the president doing BBI? Because before that, the country was almost ungovernable. The president would not do things in opposition areas. But the moment that President Uhuru reached out to Honorable Raila, it opened up the country. Now President Uhuru is a darling in Nyanza, where I come from. And the deputy president needs to inherit the benefits that the President Uhuru brings by uniting the country. So if I were him, if I was an advisor, I would support everything that the president is doing. The president say, let's go and do BBI, let's do this. He's the one to actually say, President, how can we do it? How can we, make this successful?
Okay, but the DP's political approach is usually quite aggressive, and also what you're seeing from Honorable Wahome is equally quite aggressive. So is there possibly going to be a shift from this type of politics to the type where we are just looking for development and then delivery, and then the people will vote us in?
Two things. Number one, personally, I don't believe in the so-called unities. What we elect these leaders to go and do is work. To go there and support each other and sing about each other. We saw people singing to the second president. That is not what we elect them to do. Why do I say so? Look at the coalition government between President Kibaki and Honorable Raila.
Yes.
Would you say there was unity? There wasn't. But work went on.
Yes.
That we see and say, hallelujah. So we want work to go on. We don't want people to singing to each other and drinking and eating cake and hugging each other. Yet there's nothing going on.
Yes.
So the deputy president can be tanga-tangaring, work is going on. The president can be doing what, and work is going on.
Right.
We elect them on the basis of work, not on a pledge that they'll be united. Our constitution does not require that the president and the deputy be united. It requires them to unite the country, the people of Kenya to be united. United in nation building, not united in admiring people's faces and we love you so much and blah, blah, blah. So that is not the agenda, unity of them. The deputy president may disagree with the president on certain things, but still when it comes to the work, the agenda, they are united, they read from the same script. That is good. Number two, if you look at the work which is supposed to be done, the work which is supposed to be done runs through the state. It runs through this agenda, there's budgeting, there are all sectors of government. All sectors of government, parliament, legislature, all sectors of the state. Now, these do not come together by unity, because they are not even supposed to be united. Parliament is not supposed to be united with the president. They're supposed to be actually looking on the wrong things the president doing. They locate money and then they say, we want you to do 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
The judiciary is supposed to be looking at what all these other people are doing, and then they come and say, this is, we disagree, we agree with it. If we were to go the unity way, the socialist unity way, where everybody is saying yes, one day we wake up and we sink. What the deputy president must insist on is delivery.
Okay.
If then what he is doing is sabotaging what the president is doing, then that is wrong. If what the president is doing is sabotaging what the deputy president is doing, then that is wrong. If both of them have engaged in actions that sabotage what they pledge to the Kenyans, the contract, that is wrong. If they put more of their energy and the time on BBI than on affordable quality health care and food, that is wrong, and they should know it. So going forward, when the president is talking, just as my brother has talked about handshake and so on, you don't, the Luo nation or the people in Western or do not need to love the president. They didn't love President Kibaki, but it did not prevent the roads from going there, because these are planned down there, their contracts are done, and then it is funded. So love is when you want elections and you go there and they welcome you. And if you go to Luoland, they have always welcomed the president, even when they think they disagree with him. But they love. I don't think the Kenyan president, Moi Kibaki, has had anywhere in the country where, as president, you go there and you are rejected. Differences during elections, those are understandable. Generally, as a president, there's acceptance. Let us not call upon, unity, people are praying for unity, because we grew up during the Nyayo era. The years of peace, love, and unity. It sank into our heads. Unity, there must be unity. If you hear every chief, unity. If you hear unity, you don't need unity. People are supposed to work. In America, you don't hear any president talk about unity, any senator talk about it, anybody, even in Britain, even in Japan, even in India, they are talking about work, delivery, production. That is where we should go. I don't mind. I've worked with the people who are my enemies. And we have delivered sometimes things. I've gone to court with people who are my enemies. We have done work with them. And people you'd wish in the old days dead. But when you need something, you go to them. Take, for instance, if you are unwell, you may be your tribe's lady or tribe's man. Maybe a typical Luo, breathing fire against the Kikuyu nation. But what when I'm unwell? Do I say, Ebu, check for me the Luo doctors? They don't. You say, please, 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 I need a good doctor. That is where we are supposed to. That is the ethos. That is what should be in the new year. Good.
Absolutely. He's going for the democratic way rather than the more socialistic unity way. Do you agree as you give your last
definitely. I definitely agree. And like he rightfully said, I've always agreed that you don't always have to have unanimity of opinion. In political science, in philosophy, they always say there are always two sides to a story.
Yeah.
You know, there are always two sides to a story. And for me, I believe in something called the dual characteristics. That, for example, even the way the world is, that we have men and women, that we have mountains and valleys, that when you have different opinions, when you have diverse opinions, it's good, it's beautiful. And sometimes even for government, even for the president, sometimes he needs people who give him advice that is critical. Even as a president, I would want someone who gives me, who criticizes me, so that I can see myself from the other side. But the president doesn't need people who praise him all the time, people who always agree with him. So I agree that we do not need to have that kind of unity, perceived unity, the way we used to sing about during those days. But the work has to go on. Right. And I need to emphasize that President Uhuru has 2 years to go, and that everyone needs to support President Uhuru's Big Four agenda, that he needs to deliver on these 2 years. And he needs to deliver on uniting the country. And this is where something that the Deputy President needs to support. When the President wants to unite the whole country, it is his constitutional responsibility. The Deputy President must support the President in his quest to unite the country through BBI or whichever other way, you know. And I think once we go this way, then it allows them to actually deliver on the economy, deliver on the other things that the country needs. And when 2022 comes, we as Kenyans, we will reward them based on what they did for us.
Okay.
Yes.
Your closing remarks?
I can say, fellow Kenyans, that in 2020, please shut your ears from the noise and look for substance.
Yeah.
It is about your lives. It is not about how loud your MP is or how loud. It's about the delivery of services that improves our lives. So as you go on, as you grow in 2020, shut your ears about the noise so that you prepare. Come 2022, you elect leaders that would push your life better and push to the next level. Note now the kind of character some of them we are seeing. We are in a mess, and this mess is not created in heaven. It is us down here electing people on the basis of tribe, on the basis of bribes, on the basis of party. I trust that each one of us has some goals that you want to meet. Please meet them, put them to God, but work, work, work.
Absolutely, and that concludes our conversation today. This is Canon Ambrose Weda, a regular on the show, and he's also a lawyer, as well as Daniel Juma, the Executive Director, Global Peace Foundation, wrapping up our conversation on that. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have more for you right here on Morning Express. Thank you so much.